This video is to go over craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is an extremely important part of art. Nothing is well received if delivered in a poor package. Think of it like food. How appetizing is it if the food doesn't look good to eat? I mean, if it looks like dog vomit, then you're not going to even want to try it to find out whether it would be good. The same is true for art. If you don't have craft in what you do, no one wants to look at it. So for example, this doesn't look good because I have these drawings down here. This isn't glued on right. If I zoom in, I have little edges that weren't cleanly cut. So this video is going to show you some things that artists do to make the image look better. So step one, I might decide that this was just practice and then I'm going to start all over. But if it wasn't practice, I got to figure out how to clean it up. So step one, I gotta get rid of these extra lines. And these are erasing pretty clear, so I don't have to worry about that. But look, you can see through underneath. So this is a sign that I'm gonna have to go in to cover that up, and I'm gonna have to add texture or something so that I'm hiding my lines. The trick to craftsmanship is you either have to clean it up or hide it. It's kind of like when your mom asks you to clean your room. Your choices are to genuinely clean your room or shove everything under the bed. It doesn't really matter which you pick, as long as you pick something. Then things like gluing stuff down. This needs to be glued down, but do you see how this is three-dimensional? I don't need to glue that down because our eye says it's not supposed to be glued down. So it's kind of like one of those things that, again, going back to the analogy of mom in the dirty room, if mom can handle your mess being inside bins and being inside a bin counts as clean, well then that's kind of how art is. If something is supposed to kind of be messy, then it's okay to allow it to be messy. But if it's just not done because it's just not done, well then our eye is not going to like that and not going to accept that. So I would finish adding texture to all this piece. I would have to go in, see how I have that little cut there that's not quite even, and I'd have to even it out. Our eye can handle, see how this is kind of, I would probably prefer this to be a little rounder, but because it's a clean cut, it's okay. We might argue it could be made better visually, but craftsmanship wise, it's fine as long as it's clean. I'm going in and I'm gluing down anything that needs glued down. And then I'm constantly worried about display. Do I have, if I have paper that I can't get clean, then I need to go cut that off, or I need to go cover it up or something. It should look completely clean to the eye. Mom should think the room is clean. So see, I've got some goobers there. So since I can't get rid of them, I am gonna have to cover them up. So I'm gonna put, now see how my stars are kind of messy, but that doesn't matter because it's the style. So you have to, in your mind, find the answer to, is this a mess or is this just a mess inside a container, right? So I could cover my whole piece in little stars. Here, we'll fast forward the video so this goes faster. All right, once I feel like my piece is done, notice in order to make my stars seem purposeful, I had to kind of hide them back behind the thing, and I also had to have them go off the page. The last little trick about craftsmanship is that you always want to sign your art. You can come up with any signature that you want. I tend to write Joe on my signature, even though I write Russ or Russell on passes, but for art, that's what I do. I also cropped it a little bit. I felt like that bottom part there wasn't needed, so now I kind of look like I have an abstract planter. And you want to make sure whenever you make your pieces that you have perfect craftsmanship.